Hello class, welcome to ECO 231 Fundamentals of Macroeconomics. I'm your instructor Bob Houston. You've already figured out how to navigate the page, your Blackboard page a little bit if you're watching this video, but just as kind of a quick review, you're going to find this course, ECO 231 Fundamentals of Macroeconomics, on your Blackboard page. When you click it, something like this should pop up. So the announcements will pop up first. What you're going to see today is going to be a little bit different in this video than what maybe you'll see, because there are things I can hide and make visible at different times, but this will give you a decent feel. So your announcements are going to pull up like this. Here's your first announcement. Will look pretty much like this, that asks you to view this syllabus video and the introduction to macro video, and this will stay in this top position for the entire semester. New announcements will populate below it. So the week one check-in will be the second announcement I post, and then each week there'll be one that populates this position as the old ones slide down. So you need to be checking this each and every day to see what your assignments are. Now, the principal places you're going to be going on your Blackboard page, I've made it pretty easy. You go to the announcements and course documents, and these are the two places you're going to go every day. And then the assignments, all your quizzes and exams will be on the assignments page, so you'll need to go there. Those are pretty much the three places that you'll need to go. Okay, so you're going to see this announcement. You should have already seen it, where it says view the syllabus review video. That's what you're doing right now. An intro to the macro video. Both of these are located in course documents. In course documents will look something like this. It's going to be a little bit different when you look at it. I got to hide that first thing, but it'll look something like this when you look at it. So your syllabus is here, and you're going to find out what homework to do here. Your homework answer keys are located here. Your readings are going to be here with the end of chapter homeworks, and then your videos will be here. You're obviously watching this video right here, the syllabus review video. You're going to watch this introductory to macro video. This will be the first things that you do. And then the first chapter that we actually cover will be chapter 7. There's two videos covering chapter 7. Those are located there as well. Okay. So let me kind of go over the syllabus with you. So if you click on the syllabus with your due dates, let me just pull that up. So again, I'm still making some edits, so it might not look exactly like this, but here's your course, Principles of Macroeconomics, Fall 22. Again, this is 100% online and asynchronous. We're not meeting, okay? We will principally communicate through Blackboard announcements and email. There's my contact information, okay? Again, here's the best way to contact me via email. I have office hours listed here, but again, that's not the only time you can email me. You can email me whenever. I'm not going to look at it whenever. But I will be looking at it most days, 8 to 5, other than when I'm in meetings or other obligations that I have. But I generally do not check my email over the weekends, okay? So a little word on email response time. It's going to take, I'll try to make sure I have a response to you within 24 hours Monday through Friday, okay? Now, if you send me an email at 4:30 or 5 o'clock on a Friday, I might not respond to you until 4:30, 5 o'clock by Monday. All right, now this 24-hour turnaround time makes it such that you'll want to make sure you're completing any deadlines at least 24 hours in advance. So all of your quizzes and exams will be due at 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. So that means, let's say, quiz 1 is going to be due at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. You should have it done by 4 p.m. on Mondays. So you should be having all your assignments done by 4 p.m. on the Mondays before they're due. Because if there's an issue, technical or otherwise, you could send me an email and I could deal with it before the due date passes. I will not be accepting anything past the due dates and due times. Again, everything's going to be due on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Okay? So, I don't need any emails that say, hey, I'm used to things being due at midnight. Everything is going to be due on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Okay, so make sure you're keeping up with your deadlines. We'll go through that a little more in a bit, but again, you need to keep in mind this turnaround time on emails. okay? The textbook we're using is Roger Arnold. I think you're getting through the bookstore for free, the 14th edition. I'm going to have another edition, an older edition, available for PDFs for you to look at. But you'll also want to use those older PDFs to look at the homeworks. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Okay. You can read your general education goals, your student learning outcomes. Okay. The grading policy, there'll be 2 exams worth 100 points each, and your quizzes will be worth 100 points for a total of 300 points. Let me be more explicit about the quizzes. I'm going to give you 6 quizzes. Each quiz will be worth 20 points. So 6 times 20 is 120. What about the 100 points? So I'm going to be dropping your lowest quiz score. So if for some reason you miss a deadline, or you start a quiz on Tuesday at 3 o'clock and your computer crashes, and so you don't turn it in on time and you get a 0, you'll have at least 1 drop. Okay? So your lowest quiz score at the end of the semester will be dropped. And so you'll have a total of 300 points. Okay? And we'll talk about the exam dates and quiz dates here in a little bit. But the quizzes. The quizzes will be very closely related to the homework that I assign. Okay? The homework is going to be end of chapter homework assigned for each chapter. Now you will have the answer keys. You are not, let me repeat, you are not turning in any homework to me. I'm basically going to collect something that looks like the homework via a quiz, but I'm going to assign end of chapter homeworks. You're going to work on these homeworks, and then you're going to check your own answers on the homeworks, and that should be preparing you for the quiz. Now, some of you are probably just going to look at the answer keys and not actually do the homework, and you will not learn very well that way. It's the answer keys are going to be provided for you to check after you've completed the homework. All right, but those quizzes will look a lot like the homework. Your final course grade is that's just a 90%, 80%, 70% breakout. Okay, just a standard grading policy. You can read the disability policy and academic integrity policy. In terms of the topical outline, again, we're going to cover the chapters mostly in order, except with the exception right here at the beginning, we're going to cover chapter 7 before 6. Okay, so we're going to cover chapter 7 first, then 6, 8, 9. We're going to stick 17 in here. Then pretty much in order, 10 through 15. I might switch 14 and 15, but 10 through 15 and then 22. Okay, your due dates are listed here. Okay, if you notice, they're all due on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., which means you should really be completing all of your assignments by Monday at 4 p.m. in case you have any type of technical problem or any other type of problem. Okay. But again, that's going to be your responsibility. If you're going to do them at the last minute, that's the responsibility you take. Okay, so let me talk, now that we've completed the syllabus and the due dates, let me talk a little bit about the order of things, okay? So if you go back to the announcements, let's go back to the announcements. You know, the first, to get started, you're just supposed to watch the syllabus review video in your macro, which are located in course documents. So you'd go to course documents, which you've already done. You should have already watched this syllabus. You're watching the syllabus review video, and then you should watch this intro to macro video. This is just to kind of orient you into what economics is and where macro comes from. But once you completed those, the typical announcements are going to look more like after we get started. Something like this right here, okay? It says, well, you can move into chapter 7. I'll have more to say on chapter 7 after we get started, but you want to do your readings, watch your 2 lecture videos, and do the homework to get ready for quiz 1. And all this is located in course documents. So again, if you go to course documents, the first thing you want to do is read the chapter. Now you can read the book you got from the bookstore, but I have an older edition that if you just want to read it online, you can pull that up here. So if you click on chapter 7 PDF, you're going to want to access these anyway. So you're going to pull that PDF. It's going to look something like this, okay? And once you get to the end of the chapter, okay, you might want to then watch the videos, okay? So let me just get to the end of the chapter here, okay? Once you've completed reading the chapter, you'll want to watch the videos. The videos are located down below here. Chapter 7 is going to have 2 videos. You're going to want to watch video 1 and video 2, okay? After you've watched the videos, you should do the homework, okay? What homework do I do? Well, they're end of chapter homework. So if you go to this document right here, Eco 231 end of chapter questions, you're going to pull up a document that looks like this, okay? And it has your end of chapter questions for every chapter. Now, chapter 1 through 5, this is kind of an Eco 230 review. This isn't going to be on any quiz. You're not going to be responsible for this. I'm not going to hold you responsible for this in any way. But if you wanted to look at some problems that might help you review your 230 knowledge, these are some ones that I deem to be helpful. Anything that you really need from 230, again, it's not a prerequisite. So anything that you really need from 230 in 231, I will be reviewing in the videos. So really your homework starts here with chapter 7, okay? So in chapter 7 it says do the questions and problems 1 through 3, 5 through 7, 9 through 11, and numbers and graphs 1 through 5 and 7. So the numbers I'm referring to, and they might be a little bit different in your edition of the book, are the numbers on the PDF for chapter 7. So that chapter that you read, you see there's questions and problems here. Now I just grabbed an old textbook that I had. So don't pay any attention to the things that are circled. I don't know if those are right or not. You want to look at the end of chapter questions. So questions and problems 1 through 3, 5 through 7, 9 through 11. Okay? So 1 through 3, 5 through 7, 9 through 11. I guess in this particular case, the correct ones are circled. So you're going to do those questions and problems, and then you need to work on the working with numbers and graphs. So working with numbers and graphs, you were told to do numbers and graphs 1 through 5 and 7. Okay? So you're going to work with the numbers and graphs 1 through 5 and 7. So it looks like those are correctly circled as well, but I wouldn't trust that. Okay? So once you've worked the homework, okay, you may then check your answers. So you're going to go to the homework keys. Here's chapter 7. It's going to pull up a document that looks something like this. Now, this was provided by the publisher. It's got some, different material in here. It's not anything I've looked at, so I don't know if it's helpful or not. But at the end here, you'll see answers to the chapter questions and problems. So here's the answers to the chapter questions and problems. And a little further down, you're going to see the answers to the numbers and graphs. Answer to chapters working with numbers and graphs, okay? And you'll have these answer keys for all of the chapters we're going to cover, okay? So again, just to review, you're gonna need, I'm going to tell you what chapter we're working on, okay? So you're going to want to read the material from the chapter, watch the appropriate videos, work the homework, and then check your answers. Now, really, the homework should be a multi-stage process. The way I envision it is you work the homework, you check the answers, presumably you'll get some things right and some things wrong. Well, if you get some things wrong, you need to go back without the aid of the answer key, work those problems, try to figure out what you did wrong, work those problems, and when you can work all the problems correctly without looking at the answer key, then you're ready for the quiz. Okay? I'm quite sure some of you are going to just say, well, I'll just open up the answer key and look at the question and the answers at the same time and go, oh yeah, that makes sense, and oh yeah, I see how they did that. And then when you're required to do it on your own with a time limit on the quiz, you're not going to be able to do it, okay? So just remember I said that, and if you find yourself struggling with the quiz, go back and do the homework the way I told you to do it in order to perform better on the quizzes, okay? Now, in terms of the quizzes, those you'll find the due dates on your syllabus, okay, right here. But also they'll be included in the announcements, okay? And you'll just go to the assignment links and they're going to be listed here, okay? Now, right now, if I enter the student mode here, you're not going to see anything if you click on assignments, because I'm not going to post quiz 1 until we're closer to the due date. But eventually, the first quiz you'll see here, excuse me, in the assignments, the first quiz you'll see here is quiz 1. Okay? All right, class. I think that covers all the basics that you're going to need to get started in this class. Again, I can't emphasize enough the due dates. One of the main reasons students struggle in this class is they're not completing things in time. And again, I'm not going to accept late material. And 2, they don't keep up with things because they're not keeping track of the announcements each and every day. Now, when I post an announcement, it usually gives me an option to send it as an email. So most of the announcements will also be sent as an email, but I don't always remember to check that box. So it's going to be important for you to also come to the announcements page to make sure you check this. All right, again, I think that's all you need to get started. Again, if you have questions, you can always send me an email. And I do think you'll enjoy the class. Let me end with this. It is a really big insight into how the economy works. We're going to talk about things like inflation, which is big in the news right now. So I do think it'll give you some real insights into how the real world works as we move forward. So good luck and God bless getting started.